Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. We are back with this week's edition of Weeklies. Ain't that something? And I really gotta get my forma together here. I have been so bad about, like, I need to go out and, like, do relics, but I haven't had an excuse to. It's such a shame. Let's see what is on the business for today. Got Wally, interestingly enough. Weeks of waiting on an email allowed me to buy a Steam controller now for one final home stretch of about 6 days. Yeah, Steam controller. I don't know much about those things. We have the Phantasma, so this week's like Giga free. Holy shit. Sagex Prime. Lotto. Wow, really good selection this week. Was it for permanent injury, I'd probably take Aros with me. Wait, what are the other conditions? Upguard, so yeah, we're definitely taking a Hildren this week, it looks like. Is that the one that has like the weird pads in between the grips? Is that what the Steam controller is? Asthma, get the auto. Get. What was the melee? Ah, yes, Quasis. Quasos. A weird name. Alright, I don't even have the stance for this thing. Fuck. Oh well. Oh, that'll do. Oh, and assassination. Oh. The deck without the screen, yeah. What a weird controller. I feel like I wouldn't want to hold something like that. I don't know. I prefer having full reign on the grips, you know. What are those pads even like? What are those for? Are those like laptop track pads? Is that what those are supposed to function as? Yeah, Jade Shadows comes out this week. What is it? It's on Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday that the update comes out, yeah? If memory serves. Why don't I just do this? What am I doing? We're in the home stretch of waiting in this drought, it has felt like. Or we're in that kind of cycle of just waiting for shit to happen. And then after that, it's on to TennoCon, I believe, right? That's what happens next. And we know, like, literally nothing about what they're revealing at TennoCon. Imagine that's when we get Limbo Prime. Not Limbo Prime. What the fuck am I saying? He has a Prime. Oh, Limbo rework. They announced conservation efforts for the trout population. Oh, absolutely. I would love... I feel like that's one that a lot of people would want as well. People like the idea of Limbo. These fucking LARPers, man. These Limbo LARPers. Pretending to care about Limbo because he would look pretty with an heirloom. They ain't us. They ain't out in the trenches. They don't know ball. They don't know the first thing about a riff. Though if he did get an heirloom, I feel like people would... I would hope at least like a touch up of his abilities would be nice. That's something I would really hope for. Like I said, if there's one thing I could change about Limbo is just make pickup work through Rift. That's like literally all I want. If for nothing else other than to make him visually decluttered, because when he's in Rift, he still gets stuff magnetized to him. And so it just completely like ruins your fashion. Why did it feel like that Gara hit me? God, I wish I could just strip the armor of Necronex. That would be nice. I don't know why we're not allowed to do that. Yeah, we have Mesa Heirloom on the way. So I'm willing to bet that TennoCon is probably when we're gonna get, like, the teaser for the next Heirloom. Because it seems like we get, like, 2 of them per year, right? Because last year we had Valkyr and Rhino, right? We have Valkyr, Rhino. And then this year we have Vauban, Mesa. No, wait, was it Ember last year as well? Was it Ember, Rhino, Valkyr? I forget when Ember's Heirloom came out. When was that? Was that 25 or 24? Yeah, I mean, either way, it seems like we get 2 to 3 per year. So, like, I imagine we're, like, we'll get Mesa, I think, in, what did they say, July? And then we'll probably get, like, 1 at the end of the year. Probably, you know what, it's probably going to be 1 packaged with the big end-of-year update that we're gonna get. The standard big end-of-year update. Where, like, they give us the Giga content, and then they, like, fuck off for the entirety of January. That seems to be the pattern, generally speaking. Ba 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 ba. Yabba ba ba ba. Yabba ba 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 ba. Yabba ba 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 ba. Shut up. Yay, we did it. Are you proud of me? What's... No, the last one's an assassinate. Because of course it is. Oh, we have a Mr. Founder Man. Look at that. Ain't that cool? Everyone say hi, Mr. Founder Man. They seem to be going old frames first when it comes to heirlooms, so like... If I had to guess... The next heirloom is probably going to be... We're either going to get Excal, because he's the one started that we don't have. Loki. Loki is another really... wanted one, I guess. I don't know how I feel about Excal, because, like, at one point it's, like, on one hand it's, like, he's the poster boy, so, like, he needs, like, if anyone's going to get one, it's him, logically speaking, but at the same time, I feel like he really doesn't need an heirloom. He has a lot of skins as is, and they're, like, all pretty decent. Like, he has what, like, doesn't he have, like, 2 deluxes? If memory serves. He has Zato, and then he has the Dark Sector skin. And then he also has a Void Shell, and a Prisma skin, and like a million Tenogen, and he has Excalibur Umbra. So like, I don't know, I feel like Excalibur will get an heirloom, but I feel like he shouldn't. You know? I really do think that Excalibur just shouldn't... It does not need an heirloom, at least not right now. There's so many other frames that need it more, but yeah, the other one is Loki. I think Loki's probably a pretty good shoo-in. As I said, that's another old Warframe. Nova is probably on that list. Nyx would be really, really nice. Ooh. You know what? That's something I had not considered until now. But Gunnar Nyx Void Shell? Or not Void Shell, Heirloom? That could be heat. Gunnar Nyx Heirloom. That could be fire. I'm on board with this idea. I think this is Gunnar Nyx Heirloom is what we need. We lost our chance at Void Shell, chat, but that doesn't mean all hope is lost. There is another. We can put all of our bets on a Nyx Heirloom. Just pray it's not dog shit. You know, with the whole thing surrounding Mesa's heirloom, I really hope that doesn't, like, hurt future Void Shell design. Like, I do like that they've gone, like, for, like, a little bit more blatant sex appeal with the heirloom skins. I really do think that that's fine. And I hope that, like, Mesa's whole thing doesn't throw a wrench in them doing that, because I really do like that direction. Because the thing is that it is unique in and of its own sense, because Warframe doesn't really have it that much. Like, yeah, like, Warframes have fucking human anatomy, but, like, it's not nearly as pronounced as it is in the Void Shells. God, fucking, I keep saying Void Shells, I mean to say heirlooms. Like, I would really like to, like, see them keep that thematically, just because it's unique to it. But even if they don't, I think, like, the overall aesthetic of Void Shells is really cool. Hello, Rack, how we doing? We're talking about, God, I keep saying Void Shells when I keep meaning to say heirlooms. But we're talking about who's next in line to get an heirloom after Mesa. My votes have been, Nova, Loki, Nyx. Because, like I said, so far they've all been, like, fairly early, close to release frames. I know Mesa was, like, a little bit later, but not like, I would say Mesa is still, like, quote-unquote, a classic, so to speak. Wow, is that a real Nidus? What was that? I just saw the Nidus fucking virulence trail. We don't have a Nidus in our squad, though. What the fuck was that? Can one of the pets do that? Is that a pet attack that I'm, like, not aware of? What was that? Yeah, we have Uriel, we have Gara, and then we have Necros. Either way, Wild Necro. You know what? Actually, that's probably another good candidate for a Void Shell. Okay, chat, riddle me this. Imagine skeletal Necros. Like, he's got a full, like a fully detailed, like, rib cage and shit. Like spine and everything. Like they go full send with like ghost skeleton man. I think that'd be pretty fucking heat. Also, weirdly enough, Revenant's Mephisto skin feels very much like a beta design Void Shell, you know? Like it has a bunch of the hallmarks of the Void Shell aesthetic, but is not one by name, and is like missing a couple key things to it, which I find to be quite interesting. Oh, I mean, obviously, yeah. But it's not like you can give him the overcoat. You know what? Actually, that's something I think we might see in the near future. Is I think we will see a Necros rework. I think he's one of those frames that absolutely wants it. Because, like, Terrify and Soul Punch are so whatever. I think they could really do more with those. Like, imagine Soul Punch becomes an Exalted, chat. Could you imagine? Oh, well, I guess we're just fucking doing this now. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Into the fucking fray we go. But yeah, no, I really do think that Necros needs a rework, because, like, if you really think about it, only, like, 1.5... Like, I genuinely... If it was not for Desecrate, Necros would be, like, the worst frame in the game, bar none. Like, I really think it can't be understated how bad of a frame Necros is without Desecrate. And that's, like, not because of what it is, because of what it does, too. Like... It's purely because Desecrate is a looting ability, and not even because it, like, actually benefits Necros himself in any way, necessarily. It's just, like, this add-on that is strapped to him. So I would really like to see him become usable independent of Desecrate. I really think that for an aesthetic as cool as Necros is, I think he's earned that much. I don't remember the last time I even used Necros. God damn. It's been forever. I guess I just haven't had a reason to. We haven't really had a resource like that where you have to just farm the resource. That is actually something interesting, chat, is that these days, like, necessary resources that are something that Necros could farm, you just get those, right? But instead, the annoying thing to farm is, like, something that drops from a loot table that you can't Desecrate for. And I feel like that's some bullshit. You've taken Necros' job away from him. Like, even though Necros is obviously, like, theoretically still very good, just because of Desecrate, there's just, like, there's very little excuse in newer content to use him for Desecrate specifically. And if you're not using it for Desecrate, then why are you using it, you know? It's quite a conundrum. You know what? Just because I'm gonna bust out the Necros. For the Nether cells. Because last time I had Necros, last time Necros was relevant to us anyway. We were on some, like, really funky bullshit. We were making Arcane Eruption a build for him. Because we realized it was so easy to consistently trigger on him. So we made that a build for him, and it was really fucking funny. Like Necros isn't awful because he does have survivability tools. Because like Shadows of the Dead is with the augment is not awful. Although it requires the augment to be good, so like let's be so real here. Yeah, no, I got through mine pretty fast. Yeah, because we're not even a half hour in, and we're, like, already through our EDA. Which is kind of crazy. We're through our EDA, and we're into our Netrocell. And we haven't hit even, and we just now hit the half hour mark. I get through. Maybe, you know what? Maybe since we'll have some extra time, chat, we can do some recording. There is a video I've been wanting to make, which is about the Stephalos. I love it when anyone just goes and spams the button. Because they have nothing better to do. Come on, take the corner, asshole. I always forget that the Shadows of the Dead can actually do damage. Like, if you get, like, a Shadows of the Dead and you get, like a, what you call it? Like a Jade Shadow Eximus, then, like, you actually can, deal, like, they actually can deal damage to you, or for you, rather. Man, this has been a really fast Netracell, too. Holy shit, what are these groups today? We're just flying through this shit, man. We got some speedrunners out here today, chat. And we're gonna be on track for like a 7-minute Netracell. Yeah, no, that was almost a 7-minute Netracell exactly, chat. That might be one of the fastest I have ever fucking seen. That's crazy. We got some real nut jobs in this lobby. Holy. I really do like the Prime and, the Prime combo with, Heirloom. That's actually pretty nice. Alrighty, that is diddly done with. Gotta get ETA out of the way here. And like I said, Necros, like, he doesn't die, at least. Like that's kind of a nice aspect. Like, he's got some pretty good, like, survivability options, but that's, like, it, really. He really just does not have much outside of that. What we got here? We got Strun, so it's free. Yeah, no, this is a freebie. Got Strun, we got Stubba Stubba, and we got Pennant. So this week is like Giga free. Defense off the bat. Defense exterminated. Wait a minute. Chat. Both EDA and ETA are defense exterminate assassinate. That's something. Personally, I think that if Slow Punch was used more offensively, with more offensive content, Necros would be a good frame. The Seraphi is better armor strip as easy than most people think, and Shadow has... Yeah! Well, okay, so... The reason why people don't like Terrify isn't because it's a bad armor strip and CC. The problem with Terrify is that it does basically the opposite of what you would want. It basically does the opposite of Larva, is that it scatters enemies, which is actually not very good and often not worth having the armor strip for. Because it is driving enemies away from you, and you usually don't want that. And that's why people don't like Terrify. Yeah, no, Shadows I think is a fine ability. I think for what it is, for how old it is and for what it is, I think Shadows is fine. Genuinely. Like, it obviously has some of its quirks, but, like... Again, it's fine. It's inoffensive. Like, Desecrate is Desecrate. Like, beyond that, he, like, really just doesn't have a whole lot going for him. And it really is, at the end of the day, Desecrate carrying his kit. Verify. Let me remind myself what this does. It kind of solves the issue, but it doesn't change the fact that how they are pathing is not conducive to what you want to be doing. So, like, it really doesn't... And again, plus that is an augment, that's a mod slot that you have to use for that. And that, again, should realistically be a base kit. But no, like... Necros, as a frame, I really think he is in deeper need of a rework than a lot of people give him credit for. It is only because Desecrate has propped him up for so many years. Like, I genuinely don't remember the last time Necros got a change to his kit. It has been so long. Despite how old he is. Like, I think he's one of the oldest frames who have not received any real changes to his kit since release. And that's really not a good thing, and it's starting to show a lot worse than it ever has. Because at this point, Necros is a liability to Desecrate. And what's more, Desecrate has lost its niche outside of, like, newer players, because late-game content doesn't really have resources in the same way that, like, I guess, quote-unquote, classic Warframe does. Like, there's no new Orokin Cell type item that you need for crafting, because we just use Orokin Cells, though. And, like, for a lot of times, like, people are just eventually going to acquire such a surplus of these items that they realistically will never have to be farmed again. Like, Necros has a shelf life in somebody's arsenal, essentially. Outside of very specific circumstances, such as the brief stint he had in Face Off when that came out. I don't know if he still works in Face Off. He might. But so for those who don't know, Face Off, when it came out, it is the PvP mode that kind of supersedes Conclave as people's way to get Conclave standing, because nobody actually wants to play Conclave. And one of these strategies was using Necros because it doubled up the gas can drops that the enemies would have, so you could actually get through your mission faster than the opposing team in a very deliberate way. Beyond just, being cleaner in movement, so on and so forth. Yeah, like I said, other than that, I think that Necros's niche has kind of been outlived. And I really think they'd, like, okay, like, keep Desecrate as is, I think. I think keep Desecrate as is. However, give him more than that, because, like, Shield of Shadows is okay. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Like it is a DR ability, it is just a very basic damage reduction that he has access to. The Spectres don't really do anything. Like they are quite literally there to be human shields. Meat shields, if you will. And really do nothing else besides that. They are not offensively valuable at all. Although it would be kind of nice if they were, because I think that one of the biggest, I guess, criticisms of Necros' kit, and this has existed since I started playing, was that for being like the big, scary Grim Reaper Necromancer frame, he really doesn't feel like that. Like, he doesn't have the aura of like a Grim Reaper, you know? He really is just a farmer. Scythe and all. So I think that maybe seeing a Shield of Shadows either buffed or just changed entirely would be really, really nice. Because like I said, it's such a whack job ability that it's just not... Like I don't know if anyone would really miss Shield of Shadows if they, like, gave it a suitable replacement that still gave the DR, because that's the only reason you even press 4 on Necros to begin with. So I think if I were to make a change, I think it would probably be something to Shield of Shadows. Just make it literally anything else. Literally anything else. And, like, obviously keep Desecrate untouched. I just no reason not to. Because, like, even though... Like, okay, so the thing is with Desecrate, right, is I don't think a lot of people realize this, but, having that extra drop chance, is a lot more valuable than people realize, even for, like, actually, like, being in a kit. Like, it's not just, oh, you get more loot. There's actual application and synergies within his kit for Desecrate. For example, like, people don't realize the value of having extra health and energy orbs, essentially just for free. So many of them. You can do so much with that. Arcane Eruption is one that I've had a lot of fun with. Basically just something that every time you pick up an energy orb, you CC the entire room. Everyone gets stumbled and falls on the floor every time you pick up an energy orb. Every single time. And it's really funny, and I have personally enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff like that you can just do with Necros. That I think has, like, actual viability. So I think that you don't need to do anything to Desecrate. Because, again, at the end of the day, it is Desecrate. It is the whole reason he exists at all. Terrify has always been kind of a contentious ability. It is an armor strip, it is a CC, but the CC half of that is often a negative and hurts you more than it helps you. Because the enemies will run away from you, and that's the opposite of a grouping ability. So realistically, it just makes enemies harder to go out and find individually. And now there is Creeping Terrify, which is a bandit augment. I do recognize that. That kind of helps, but I don't really think that it solves the issue anyway. It's just another added benefit. It's like, oh yeah, enemies get slowed, I guess. Which is fine. But yeah, no, I think that... One idea I have for that would be to, instead of, running away, the enemies huddle together for safety. Like, it keeps the thematics of, oh, they're scared, but instead of running away, they think, oh, strength in numbers, we will group together, ape together strong, and then, like, that also serves to benefit you as the player while still being thematically on point. And I think that would make the ability a lot better, is, like, if the AI would instead seek each other out and try to group up. And that would also make it a very unique ability as well, because I don't think we've ever had an ability that affects AI in that way. Granted, I don't know if that's even possible, because I don't know if there's certain logistics that would prevent that from being a usable ability. Like, oh, it would break enemy AI too much in something like, I don't know, defense. I think that is a very realistic concern. So, that's my suggestion. Like I said, I would do something with Terrify. And then there's the obvious elephant in the room. There's Soul Punch. Soul Punch is kind of a just nothing ability. Like it's gotten little bits and pieces of, like, I think buffs here and there. Like little things, like quality of life improvements, but generally speaking, it is by far one of the weakest abilities in this kit, and I think it's one of the weakest abilities in the game currently. I think the only other one that I can think of that's, like, really bad is, Banshee's Sonic Boom. Because that's just, like, such a nothing... It does no damage, it does nothing. Like, just her weird little projectile that she can throw. Yeah, I think those are the two changes that kind of need to happen. Or two changes, I guess there's, like, I think that... Yeah, like, the thing about Necros is that, like, he's not awful. He is not unplayably bad, but his kit has aged really poorly, and a lot of the... And, like, the thing is that the reason why his kit is like, oh, it's okay, is just like, well, he needed to have a functioning kit to, like, justify bringing him on missions, but now it feels like in endgame content, Desecrate is the weak link here, not the other way around. And so now that, like, endgame content doesn't really have things for Necros to do, there's really no reason to bring him along. Like, yeah, obviously, new players are going to get usage out of him. That's, like, That's a very given statement. But beyond being a new player, that only gives Necros a shelf life in your arsenal. So I would really like to see Necros get some sort of, like, large-scale buff at some point along the line. Like I said, I really do think that he is more due for a rework than people realize. Because, like, be honest with me, when was the last time you, like, if you play, like, a lot of endgame, like, if you're doing your weeklies every week, like, you're doing EDA, ETA, Netracells, etc., Descendia, when was the last time you saw somebody bring Necros anywhere? Like, you really just don't see that anymore. Because, like, all the resources that you want to farm are now behind drop tables instead of enemy drops. Like, they drop as part of missions now instead of enemies themselves, so there's, like, really not much excuse to use him. So I think that, like, while Desecrate is a good ability on its own, I do think that its main purpose of being a double looting ability is not really useful anymore. Because, like, we have so many, like, I think we have so many, like, looting abilities now in Warframe. More than people realize. That there's now just, like, not an excuse to use all the ones we have. Because, like, there was a time when we were crying to the heavens for more looting abilities, and now they don't really serve a purpose these days. Again, like I said, obvious new player exception, but please fix Necros. Wait, is this a tank fight with, like, no stupid condition? Holy shit, chat. This is a tank fight that doesn't have, like, a stupid idiot condition attached to it. Huge news. God, my Scarab Swarm is going to get, like, eaten through. Holy fuck, what was that? What did that to me? What the fuck was able to do that to me, chat? Holy shit. Yeah, no, this shouldn't be able to eat through my armor that fast. What the fuck? What is causing that? That's so weird. I said, I can't believe we actually have a tank fight where There's no stupid caveat to fighting it. It's just the tank fight straight up. Maybe that's why the tank feels worse than 60 Eyes, because there's always like some bullshit caveat to the tank that's like fucking Murmur doesn't have at all. What the fuck was that? Bro? What the fuck was that? Are we for real? That was some bullshit. Hopefully this counts for me finishing the mission. Yes, hello, Lunar. Welcome. Yeah, no, we just got janked out by something. I don't know what the hell it was. But no, we're on, like, isn't that one ability null? But, like, I've never seen it do that before. I have never seen... Like, because I've done the tank fight since... Oh my fuck! What the fuck was that? Wisp just slides away on her ass? What? I'm so glad that we are streaming. Holy fuck, that was incredible. Oh my god, anyway. No, I think it was, what was it? Because we're on persistence, right? And, like, I fought the tanks, like, several times since we got persistence. And I have never had it do that before. Like, I've never had it, like, null my persistence and then just kill my entire health bar in one go. That is bizarre. I'll have to, like, watch that back or something later on, because that's just, like, weird. I'm so glad I caught that Wisp sliding away on her ass thing. That was just gold. Yeah, we just finished EDA, ETA, and Netrocells in, like, an hour. That's like a new fucking record, Jesus. What's in Dark Refractory this week? Anything worth... Blue, blue Archon Shard. Eh. I don't. I don't really feel like that's worth it. Yeah, no, that's not worth it. I really do wish Descendia had better rewards. I think the rewards as they are kind of weak. Like, it's like you have like a Riven, and then you have like maybe like a reactor or catalyst blueprint, and that's it. It really feels like rewards that are better suited for early game players than they are for like late game where you actually encounter it. Seems really bizarre to me. You know what I guess we can do? I guess we can do some recording. That might be a good idea. Because there is something that I've been wanting to do, which is a video about the Stephalos. Well, I need to adjust it for this. If you don't think I'm cheating with a ribbon. Probably just put like interior coat in here somewhere. Just swap. Yeah, the Stephalos is like a really sleeper weapon that I think is going to get really good once the Prime comes out, and that's going to come out with Citrine Prime, which is probably not far away. Like Citrine Prime should be this year, right? It has to be. Because who do we have? We just got Stein. We're getting Steinax with the update. So we probably have like who's probably gonna be next? Like, it's gonna be like Citrine and probably Dagath, I think. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like either Citrine or Dagath that comes after. Oh yeah, and Kalervo's in there somewhere too. Like so, Citrine, Dagath, Kalervo. Prime Order's been fucky for quite a while now, so we don't really have an accurate guess of who's coming next. So something to, I guess, be mindful of. But no, the Stephalos is Citrine's weapon, so I've been really wanting to do a video on this for a little while. Because I really think that a lot of people sleep on it. I think it's a really good gun. Let's press up here. Everything looks good. Oh, the Stephalos. This right here. Citrines. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some live recording here. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mo, and today we are going to be looking at a gun that I think a lot of people have overlooked for quite some time now, and I think is going to be a monster when it gets a prime, and that is the Stephalos. This is Citrine's. Fuck, I gotta redo that. Oops. I choked on myself. Don't choke on dick when speaking. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mo, and today we are going to be looking at the Stephalos, which is Citrine's signature weapon. This is a weapon that I believe a lot of people have slept on for quite some time, and I think it is going to be absolutely monstrous when the Prime comes out, either this year or maybe next year. I don't know. Prime Order has been a little strained for a while now, but This is a weapon I would recommend investing a Riven into right now if you are so interested in it, because they're probably going to be really cheap right now. But the Stephalos is a weapon that is very similar to the Archiplasmor. It has a much shorter range. However, kind of a bitch. Got interrupted. All right, take 3. God, I can't. You little shit. I have a dog here that's being quite a little pest, aren't you?
Oh, there. Oh, you're going to be quite annoying, aren't you? Going to be a little baby or going to cry? Is that so? Huh. We'll be fine.
He's still quite a little puppy. Make a scripted. I hate doing scripted content. And like I said, that was because I got interrupted recording. That was not my own fault. You know, scripted content really isn't for me. Scripted content has always felt. The reason why I don't like it is I don't like reading off a script. It feels disingenuous. I find it a lot better to make content where I am ad-libbing it as I go. Like scripts can help with more, I guess, long form videos. But when I'm just doing something like this, I like being able to speak matter of factly, and it makes me a lot more natural when I'm speaking. Because if I'm reading off a script, I'm going to be a lot more, I guess, mechanical when I say things. Which, I mean, I guess is a thing that comes from practice, but again, it's just a personal preference of mine. Alright, take 3 here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mo, and today we are going to be looking at Citrene's signature weapon, the Stephalos. This is a weapon I believe that many people have overlooked or have slept on for quite some time, and I think it is going to be incredible when it gets a prime either later this year or next year. I don't know. The prime order is kind of a mess at the moment. But let's take a look at it here. The Stephalos is a weapon very similar to the Archiplasmor. We can get its raw stats here. Solid status has heat innately. That's very, very nice. But otherwise, it is a pretty unassuming weapon, as it is right now. But I think that it has a lot of potential because it has a unique trait. Projectiles last 50% longer for each hit. Projectile speed when wielded by Citrine. So, what this means is that every time this hits an enemy, it is going to go a lot farther than it would otherwise. And in practice, that has a lot of implications. So, I really think that this unique helps it a lot, and you'll see why. You'll see why. The projectile is enormous for this thing, and then there's a reason why it has such a short base range. Yeah, this is the very basic build here. I think that you could probably, like I said, I have a Riven for this personally. If that does change how I build it, I can lean it a little bit more into crit than you otherwise normally would be able to. But I think just going for mostly raw status is more than acceptable. I think it is perfectly viable doing just that, because you get very, very, very large heat procs, because this does benefit from multiplicative condition overload. Just like the regular Archiplasmor does. So I will give you a quick field test here of how exactly this thing looks. As you can see, if I am just hitting this one, you can see it doesn't really go very far. Pretty slow moving too. As you can see, if I hit multiple, it travels through all of them pretty consistently. It also very easily hits headshots for Crux. So when you start unloading like this, and once it gets its ramp up from multiplicative CO, you'll really start to see this thing get really crazy here, as you can see. It just chews through groups like this. Like I said, very, very potent. It is an Archoplasmor on rapid fire and a much, much, much bigger projectile. And like, if it's doing this in its base form, imagine what this thing is going to do with the Prime. Like, this thing is probably going to have a lot more usable crit chance, I'd imagine. Granted, crit chance for shotguns is questionable at best. The mods we have for that are not amazing as they stand, so that remains to be seen. Like I said, it really depends on how they decide to buff this thing. But I really think that it's going to be good either way, because giving this weapon literally anything is honestly a benefit. Like I said, it really hits Crux good. Like you don't have to aim at all. It just naturally hits their heads. So you just immediately have full stacks for it, so that really helps its status chance as well. Which is already a pretty decent status chance. I think it's like 22 status chance at base. That's already pretty decent on top of your 60-60s. Yeah, you're looking at a very, very consistent status chance. Oh, missed the spot. And, like, each hit individually does a lot on top of the status effects it's doing as well. So I am very, very approving of this weapon. And if you farmed for Citrine, you've probably gotten this weapon alongside of it incidentally, I would imagine. And if you haven't, I think it is worth going through Citrine's farm area, Mirror Defense again for it. If you don't know, Mirror Defense is located on Mars. I believe the note is Tiana Pass. Yes, I will take this into the field test as well and demonstrate it there, so I will see you all then. Alright, there we go. Set up. Yeah, we want the Athlos, take a Naros with us. Alright. So here we are in the Mott field test as per usual. You can see it eats enemies alive. No surprise to anyone. I think the only downside of this weapon that I can say is that the clip size and the maximum ammo capacity is a little small, but I think like I said, both of those are pretty well remedied by Primary Crux, so that's pretty generally not much of an issue. Because you really feel the ammo efficiency from Crux on this weapon. And I think it is very mandatory for this weapon to have that. I don't really think that there's another arcane alternative that you can really use. This is very much, I think, Crux or bust. Granted, I don't think Crux is very hard to arcane to get, so... But if for that some reason is enough to dissuade you from using it, then that, I suppose that's fair. But I would really recommend picking it up. It's very, very strong. Probably even on the lower mod count if you were to somehow get this early on. Which I believe you pretty easily can, considering it's only on Mars that this is accessible. Or rather, it's from Mars that this is accessible. You can get this weapon pretty early on in the game for a new player. I think it's honestly not a terrible pickup for that reason as well. And like I said, granted, it is Citrine's farm, which is a little bit tedious. So that really does depend on how much you are willing to sit through that farm. I know some people don't mind it. I'm neither here nor there on it. So that is entirely your discretion. As that is no problem killing enemies in large groups on its own, because like I said, this projectile is the size of Texas. It is just enormous. Like, literally just throw the sun at them is what this weapon is. The sun gun, if you will. Has that nice little pretty lotus... Lotus? I don't think that's a lotus, just like flower and dolly pattern, whatever you want to call it, in the middle, which is pretty neat. It is, like, strangely floral. Speaking of which, I'm surprised we've never gotten, like, a plant life frame. Like, we've kind of got Oberon and we kind of have Titania, but we don't really have a warframe that is strictly plant-based. Would be interested to see that, though. I said, obviously the downside is that, like, yes, it hits a large area, but it doesn't really chain through walls. Like I said, the standards that we have to hold weapons to these days, am I right? Like I said, I would almost argue that this weapon is better than the Archiplasmor, even the Tenet Archiplasmor. Like, this gun is really, really good. And it's only going to get better with its prime. Yeah, if you do want the projectile to go farther, you can equip projectile speed, and that might help you. I personally don't mind it, so I just have a minus recoil, even though I don't have visual recoil turned on. And then we can test it versus an Acolyte here as well. Wherever he is. Not as crazy for Acolytes like compared to something like the Perigale, which we've done in the past, but still pretty solid for taking them down. Heat proc finishes him off there. And like I said, the only real downside I think I have for this thing is the reload's a little long. Which I'm sure you could remedy with probably, like, a mod of your choosing. Maybe get it on a ribbon if you roll for that. Because, like I said, ribbons for this thing are probably dirt cheap. You can find them dime a dozen. Because nobody's really picked up on this weapon as much yet. So that is another option for you as well. If you are really invested in this weapon and really do like it, I highly recommend getting a ribbon now before the Prime comes out. Yes, this has been the Steplos. I hope you found this video informative and have made a wonderful decision for where you will be farming next. I will see you all later. Now, there we go. That's quite literally like the sun cannon. And now, hopefully what we can do is we can go and find, like, some kind of, survival fissure. Hang out there. Gotta be a good one somewhere. Nothing? Really? Really? Take Jade and let's go out and do some hunting, if we will. I have so many of that one relic. Yeah, Arcwings are not very fun. They've gotten a little bit better over the years, especially because they're now actually decent weapons, but, like, I've never found Arcwing content or Railjack content to be particularly, like, enthralling. Like, I think the idea and the concept is cool. Like, I can see the vision that they were going for. It doesn't really feel like this is the kind of game where you want that sort of content. It's like this weird thing. I feel like it's Steve's fault, right? Where they see something cool in another game and they're like, oh shit, how can we implement this into Warframe? And so they have to, like, twist this completely different genre into something that can work within Warframe's bounds, and it ends up, like, being a very mixed result. I say not to say that this is a bad thing, but it's an interesting design philosophy that they've seemed to have followed. Like I said, I am almost certain that the existence of Soulframe is entirely Elden Ring's responsibility. Like, Steve played Elden Ring. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but that's kind of besides the point. Like I said, I'm pretty sure, like, Steve woke up, played Elden Ring today, and is like, how can I make this but my game? And then so he did. He made Soulframe because he couldn't fit the entirety of Elden Ring into Warframe. He tried with Duviri. He tried with Duviri. Believe you me, he tried. But was ultimately not very successful. But no, I'm pretty sure that, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the thought process, was it's like, oh, we want to create a more Souls-like experience in Warframe. So they make Duviri, and they're like, okay, Souls gameplay and pacing doesn't really work for Warframe. So they just went off and made Soulframe instead. Because Soulframe is what followed Duviri pretty closely. I think development of Soulframe started very shortly after Duviri, if memory serves. And, like, that also lines up with the time that Elden Ring came out. Because if we look at... let me go pull this up here. Theory. When was this released? Yeah, Duviri was released April 26th, 2023. And then Elden Ring came out February 25th, 2022. So February 25th, February of 2022, Elden Ring comes out. A little over a year later, they come up with the Duviri paradox, right? And that lines up with the development cycle. And then when did... Oh, interesting. The concept was floating around in 2019. However, full-scale development and dedication of a larger team to the project did not begin until February 2022. And then it was only officially announced during July of that year. So they started working on the game in February of the year that Elden Ring came out. Same month, same year, they started work on Soulframe. So I really think it is very logical to assume that Duviri and subsequently Soulframe are very directly related to Elden Ring's release. I'm fully confident in that statement. Oh, hey, here's a conjunction survival. I can do this. Some of that. Like I said, like that's kind of always been Warframe's thing, is like they take like these little bits and ideas from like games that are popular and they like try to take their own spin and try to like really... Leech Daddy says he's going 20 minutes. What a trustworthy individual, chat. Oh, what the fuck is happening? Can we, like... Oh? There we go, Jesus. This. This. And also, I mean, Elden Ring, though, like, that one's fair, because Elden Ring is, I think, like, that's, like, a once-in-a-generation game. I really do think people are, like, don't realize how, like, groundbreaking Elden Ring is as a game. Like, that is a game that is going to remain timeless for years. Years and years and years and years. It is a very, very, like it is what I would call like the definition of like handcrafted fine china, like in video game terms. It is a premium experience. that we will probably never see again, because that was a 5-year development cycle, like, and that's not like 5 years and they took a break or something. No, that is like 5 straight years of development for a single game, and it really, really shows. Like, it's only because it's so new that, like, we won't see its influences for, like, a little while. But, like, it is definitely, like, an influential title. If not, the very least, like, the mastery of the Souls genre. Also, if I remember right, like, for context, for people who don't realize, the size of the lands between is, I think, like, almost double the size of Skyrim's map. If you scale them to each other. Not to mention, it is a gorgeous game as well. It is phenomenal visuals. Like, every frame of painting. One of my friends apparently started playing Elden Ring recently without me knowing. So I'm very interested to... Because they have never played a Souls game in their life. So I am really, really interested to see what they think of it. Please give me more form of blueprints, I'm begging. It really does make me wonder, though, like, what are they going to do for the next, like, Souls franchise? Like, Souls-style franchise game. I'm really, really curious. It's like, I don't know how they're going to follow up a game like Elden Ring. That's gonna be very, very difficult. Considering just the sheer scope of a game like that. Like, how do you follow that up? Like, how do you follow up what is probably going to go down in history as, like, one of the best games ever made? You don't play Souls game with your friend will drag you to the Sentinel tree? You mean the tree sentinel, the enemy? Because there's an enemy called the tree sentinel, but there's no sentinel tree that I know of. Yeah, the tree sentinel that's like right outside the starting area of Elden Ring is really funny. It's really a come back and get good, idiot. Like he puts they put it right in front of you as a way to say, please do not fight this thing. There are enemies that you will encounter that you are not supposed to fight. The new frame. I have yet to really see enough of them. I am more interested in what their subsume is and how that works. Because I think that is going to be... no, I don't think they did Equinox dirty, because Equinox literally exists. Maim is an ability that they still have not surpassed in terms of its power. Like, I think the only frame to have anything on par, that is like a modern frame that has anything on par with Maim, is Uriel's 4, which is a very limited cast. Like... the day that they power creep Maim as an ability is going to be very grim. Because, like, how do you power creep an ability like that? That is a crazy fucking ability. You don't just magically power creep something like that. I remember having a discussion last week as well. Like, Equinox is fucking crazy, brain. If you go watch last week's stream, you'll see. I brought Equinox into Descendia and was doing very, very good on DPS. Yeah, I brought them into Descendia and Netracell, and they were just fucking smoking everything. Like people, like, Equinox, like, yes, Equinox's abilities are bad, but Maim is such a fucking nutter butter of an ability that it really does beg the question of, like, how much does she need a rework, really? It's kind of a weird spot. This idiot fucking acolyte can't hit me. Dumbass. She's not even hard to play either. Like, she's literally just watch your gauge in the top as you activate Maim, and then when it hits the threshold, just let her rip. The only real nuance to it is how she builds up that damage. But, like, that's it. The rest of her kit just is dedicated to her not dying. Because that's, like, her main weakness is that she's kind of, well, her day form is squishier. Her night form is actually decent. Because it has some raw damage reduction built in. Well, it's not damage reduction so much as it is, enemy, damage nerf, I guess? I don't know, it's a very unique ability in how it works. It's quite strange. Players don't read true. That's why everyone hates Limbo, because they can't fucking read. Like I said, I do think Equinox needs a rework, but, like, they don't need a rework, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they don't get a rework, they're still playable as a Warframe. And can, like, still do content pretty efficiently. Limbo desperately needs a rework, but, like, I don't think Pablo wants to. That's such a hornet's nest to kick. Because it's like, oh, if you do it wrong, you piss off all the super dedicated Limbo players. Oh, even though I don't think that those people are real. I think that they would be happy with literally anything. Like, just acknowledge that he fucking exists, man. No, I think Limbo's Prime is different enough. He's got the cool hat. He's just got some different Nash in his Prime than he does in his face. I think they are different enough. I just don't use either his Prime or his base. I use his deluxe skin, so that's not really... I really do like his Prime helmet, though. I think it's one of his best. Very menacing. When was the last time the Plague Star event was ran? I know it was, I think, like, last year at some point. I don't remember when exactly. Ooh, Nautilus Prime. That's free gold. Where is me? I can't tell. There's all these different. I can't tell which one is. Oh, there he is. Found him. But I like that we can apply mods to our fucking amps now. That's such a nice touch. Really something that needed to happen sooner. What server am I in? What do you mean, what server am I in? I'm in North American, I guess, if that's what you're asking. Ah, yes. I can imagine the Asian servers for this game are, like, very different. I feel like the Asian servers are, I don't want to say sweatier, but they take the game a little bit more seriously. The only thing I know about the Asian servers is they got real mad every time they touch Wukong. They do not like when Digital Extremes fucks with Wukong. They really don't. They like the monkey. I remember, I don't know which time it was, but I remember, like, that they nerf Wukong and then, like, they, like, negatively, like, review bombed Steam. Or something like that. Are you talking about in reference to Dragon Ball? You're so right, Tara. You are very correct. Wukong is truly China's Nepo baby. Like, if there's a large multi-character game like this, you can bet your ass there's gonna be a Wukong. Journey to the West. Oh yeah, of course. That's like that's not just like a childhood show. That's like classic literature. That's true. That's just like classic literature. That's Metroid Prime systems. Yeah, no, it's old, old, old. Yeah, no, I know that they like Wukong. I know why. It's just funny that, like, Wukong himself has become synonymous with the Chinese player base. Genghis Khan frame? That would be funny. Although I don't think China would like that. I don't think China would like that, actually. Because that is, one, Mongolia, two, the conqueror of China. That's, I don't think that one's gonna fly, boss. Oh, I guess I'm leaving now. Are you asking about the term Nepo baby? Players 1 of 4? Thought I was alone, but like, oh well, I guess. Dude said he was going for 20 minutes. So we're going for 20 minutes. I really hope that new augment is good for the Tonkor. It's a weapon that I've, like, kind of been wanting to, like, build out properly for a while. I just wish it, you know, had, you know, like, more than one ammo in the clip, maybe. That would be nice. Oh, his 500 wives, God. Knowing DE, that would probably, they would have the balls to do that. But I don't think that they would. Genghis Khan isn't really a character you fuck with in that way, you know? Very, very different vibe. God damn, this is a crazy Nova skin. Jesus Christ. Enogen's something else. They really push the limits of, like, what can be accomplished with that. Alright, here, now, why don't we go do Duviri? That seems like a good idea. Have some fun time with that. Oh, hey, look. Inaros. Ooh, yeah, but you know what? Araxia is a lot funnier for Circuit. I see. You're right. You're right, Duviri, that is happening, huh? You're so right. I have completely forgotten about that. I guess we taken this. I had forgotten about that, honestly. Oh, broken. I really do hope they add more decrees for Deviri, too. That would be really nice. I really like when they do that. Keeps it fresh. Ooh, Irresistible Bombardment. That's one of our combo pieces. Now we just need to get, Chamber. Or Grim Armory, rather. And then we are off to the races. Remedium is such an insane prized, however money I spend, I fix my bike and laptop. Within 2 weeks, yeah. You know, so I've never really been a fan of Warframe's burst fires. They always just feel very unsatisfying. Oh, Grim Armory, there we go! We're fucking off. Shit. Whee! Whee! Alright, now what we need is the electrical one that gives you, like, ammo capacity. Heck, give me the power strength, the armor one, too. Just for shits. This decree combo is so fun. Grim Armory and Irresistible Bombardment, and then you get the one that increases mag size. I always forget the name of it. But these three are just wonderful. Makes any weapon a monster. You know, I'm surprised that Kome didn't come with the Nikana. I feel like that would have been like a really, really easy thing to do. And I'm really surprised that they didn't do that. It's like, it's such low-hanging fruit, but I guess that's a good thing that they didn't. They came with a staff instead, which is like, still on brand, but like, less of an obvious shoo-in. Kome did, in fact, not study the blade. Get out of here. I kind of wish that Kome's upcoming augment was like a little bit better. It would have been nice if the free 6 was applied to all of her abilities. Not just, I think, her 1. Unless it does, then I'm just stupid. And I guess we take that. It's easier to kill. Oh, my spider. Oh, my little creatures. Oh, I can't heal my scuttlers with that. I feel like I should be able to. I think that would be really cute if I could heal my scuttlers with Remedium, but I guess not. Can't have everything, I guess. And this is a lot more damage than I've given it credit for. Oh, where did my energy go? They took my fucking energy, chat. Can't have shit in Detroit. Now I have energy again. Huzzah. Raxia is one of those Warframes that's gonna get, like, slightly better with the Prime, because she's probably gonna have higher base health. I would hope that they would give her higher base health with her Prime. Higher pace belt? Higher base health with her Prime. Even though it's probably, like, a year or two off, still. We're still a long ways out from that. I know that Dante is coming next year. So, excited for that. Oh, he could sneak in at the end of this year. That's... It would be a stretch, because Corvex is in front of him. But... It is probably going to be next year. Like, early January next year. Like that, or February. At least he's finally getting acknowledged now. For a while, Dante kind of got ignored. Like... How do I put it? Like, they didn't really, like, give him no skins, no augment, no nothing, and then they give it to him all at once. Probably because when he came out, he was a little bit of a problem child and caused some controversy. I have energy back, please, boss? Hey, boss, can I have energy, please? How hard is it to get shot in this place? I guess because when I do this, I get a shield, but... I digress. Thank you for giving me energy for free. Oh! I think that is enough for the evening. So, I think I'm going to end it here. I will see you all on Wednesday when the update comes out. And we will all go and have fun frolicking through the meadow together or something. I don't know. But I wish you all a wonderful evening.